Welcome back, my millennial friends. Today we are back with a brand new video. Your boy, Mr. High on Weed right now, here today, and we are going to be taking a look at a brand new series on this channel known as Let's Get Political. It's basically a series where I piss off a bunch of my friends because they disagree with me in political opinions and such, that kind of cool series. But yeah, in all seriousness, today we're going to be looking at a interesting person on the internet. Now, I love roasting people, but I'm just gonna show an image of this guy, and you can be the judge for me.
Representation is actually so much about mental health. It's about showing queer and trans young people the lives that you're living are legitimate lives. There have been people who have struggled before you, and there will probably be people struggling after you, but what you're going through is not something that you have to go through.
Okay, let me just ask, what the hell is this clown doing on my computer screen? Like, take a look at it. Is this a clown? Like, if you look at the fucking makeover, this is not a human being. This is a fucking clown. You know what's scarier than clowns? Absolutely nothing. Clowns are the scariest being on the planet, and this shit is fucking scary, man. I'm freaked out now. Holy crap. Take your kids away from Mr. Molester here. He gonna touch your kids in some weird places, man. Don't keep this fucking asshole away from you if you want to spare the trouble. Also, I don't know why it's in such a shitty resolution. I have it set to 720p. I don't know why. Maybe I have to download it. Huh. A performing artist. Oh wow! I didn't know that dressing up as a fucking weeaboo clown and going around dancing all around the neighborhood in your underwear is considered art. Nowadays, literally anything can be considered art. I could fucking staple my dick to the wall, and that's so artistic. Ah, it's so artistic, bruh. I get to staple my penis to the wall, and it's art because I say it's art. Bitch. That ain't art. You wanna know what is art? Mozart. Picasso, Leonardo da Vinci, music, actual paintings, books, creativity, all that shit is art. This, on the other hand, is just weird. I mean, if doing this gay shit makes you happy, go right ahead. I'm not the one to judge, but I'm still gonna judge anyway. But anyways, if it makes you happy, go ahead and do it. But just know that people are gonna give you some weird stares, and you better start getting used to that.
Often when I'm performing, I recognize that I'm the first person who people have ever seen who looks like me.
Because no one dresses like this. Wow. Like, how dumb do you have to be to not get that? You're like the only person on the fucking planet who dresses like this. Are you saying there's other people out there who dress like this? Do you think we should encourage little Jim Bob and little Jimmy here to tie their hair and dye it fucking green, wear fucking lipstick and a nose ring, and fucking dress up like a fucking circus clown? Bro, if someone's laughing, they're not laughing with you, they're laughing at you.
Recognize that I'm the first person who people have ever seen who looks like me. Which I'm like, goals, like why would I want to look like anyone else, first of all?
Because looking like someone else isn't exactly bad? Huh? Like, I mean, I don't look like anyone in particular, but I look like a human, and it's because I'm trying to go for that human look, the t-shirt, maybe some Star Wars, because, you gotta have some fandoms right there. But yeah, you have to have normal t-shirts, some jeans, maybe socks, so you can go barefooted, whatever works, I won't be judged. Maybe a pair of shorts. But you know what, hey, I dress up normally because I want people to see me as normal. I don't know if it's just me, but being seen as a fucking clown face McGee here isn't exactly gonna be a fun experience, so I'm gonna opt out of doing that. Alok uses poetry to challenge gender and performs around the world. What poetry? Roses are red, violets are blue, I cut off my dick and you can too. Boom, poetry. Challenge gender, you mean the two genders that exist, male and female. Oh, well, challenge accepted. He performs around the world. It performs around the world. Sorry, not to misgender you, but please don't come to where I live. I'm begging you. I don't want you here. Go away, please. Power of Christ compels you, bro. Power of Christ compels you. Oh, sorry, not bro. I meant sissy. Itty, titty, big titty. Close enough.
To the two men who yelled, "That's a man in a dress," I wanted to turn around, point back, shout, "Hey everyone, that's an insecure man. That's an insecure man. That's an insecure man."
How is this poetry? You know what? Just for the hell of it, thanks to Mr. Newbie Memes here, I'm gonna play some dank ass poetry from one of his meme videos. Let's roll it.
On the green I stand, a man, I tee off and I drive the ball hard, and it goes far and far. Whether it's a birdie, bogey, or eagle, I know that when I go home, I have my little beagle, and he loves me for who I am, a man named Brian.
Now that's real poetry right there. That's something I can quote, and that's something that is motherfucking dank. This, on the other hand, this ain't poetry, motherfucker. This is cringe. Stop making me cringe so hard. I'll fucking cut my dick off. I don't want to cut my dick off.
A lot of people are really confused when I say I'm gender nonconforming, because they'll be like, you have to choose one.
I mean, you kind of have to. I agree. You can't just be nothing. I mean, you can't just be nothing and shove concrete up your vagina or cut off your dick and have nothing there. That's not how it works, bro. You kind of need to have something. And even if you choose not to, well, I'm sorry to say, you still have cells in your blood and body that tell you that you are either male or female. It's simple. So stop making it fucking hard. Keep it simple, you motherfucker.
I want my art to be a way for people to actually feel like they have a worth beyond their gender.
You do have a worth beyond your gender. And that worth is what defines you. And what defines you is what you make of your life. If you're gonna be like this fucking freak, then you don't really have much worth beyond your gender. Maybe a couple of pennies and a few blowjobs, but other than that, you have no worth. But if you go out and do something with your life, like working at a store, you know, doing work, or being a doctor, or a scientist, or an engineer, or in general, just doing something that makes you happy. Like actually going out there and working on and doing something that makes you happy. It doesn't even need to be big. You could just be a fucking office worker. If that's what makes you happy, that must makes you happy. But as long as you're doing something meaningful with your life, you have worth. But if you're not doing that, if you're just being this idiot going around posing your art, then you don't really have much worth beyond your gender, honestly. In fact, I would say your gender is pretty worthless considering you're gender non-conforming. So, really, you have no worth. This motherfucker just played himself. He has no worth.
I want my art to be a way for people to actually feel like they have a worth beyond their gender, a worth beyond their ability, a worth beyond what they're doing.
Hate to break it to you, but if you can't do something and you don't have the ability to do something, then you don't really have much worth now, do you? Now, to be fair, I understand that sometimes life can be hard. You know, sometimes you can't figure out what x is when you plug it into the equation 3x squared minus 4x equals 2. But you know what? That's okay. If you actually get help and try your hardest, you did something. My point here is the fact that your worth is determined by your ability in life, because your ability determines your output into this world. If you can't do something and you refuse to learn how to do it, then how can you be considered worthful? That was worthful a word? I don't fucking know. But in that case, you're worth less because you're not doing anything. Now, you may just be a teacher, which, now I think about it, it's probably one of the hardest jobs on the planet. Scratch that. You may just be a McDonald's worker, which is probably one of the... that's pretty difficult as well. You may just be an office worker, you know, working, you know, 8 to 10, or 8 to 9, or I don't fucking know, 8 to 5. And you may be, you know, doing almost nothing all day, you know, fiddling your thumbs, typing on a computer, watching porn, the usual. But in essence, I don't know where I was going with this. Let's just move on, man. I don't even know where the fuck I was going.
People have been so taught to internalize the idea that masculinity and femininity are separate, and that masculinity and femininity are antagonistic and oppositional.
I wouldn't call them antagonistic, but I will call them oppositional. Or how the fuck are you using big words? I fucking failed English. Stop it. Get some help. But yeah, seriously though, they are opposites. It's very clear that they're opposites, and really, no one is questioning that. Fucking hair. Stay still. Anyways, point being, what is his point here? And can this person stop making shitty points and actually make something interesting that I can actually have a discussion about?
That they're self-editing themselves. You can get mad at everyone else for silencing your voice, but what happens when you're the person silencing your own creativity?
This is actually a decent point. You shouldn't silence your own creativity, but if your creativity involves you doing nothing all day, then you gotta understand that that's not okay. You have to actually do something with your life. You can't just say, oh, I stapled my penis to a wall. Art. Oh, I stapled my nipples together. Art. Oh, I put this fucking soda can. Boys. You can't just say that I shoved a soda can up my ass and art. It's not how it works, and I was trying to do something cool, but it didn't work, so whatever.
I grew up in one of the most conservative areas in the world. I internalized that.
I hate how this person says conservative, as in, oh, conservatives are bad. No, conservatives aren't bad, liberals aren't bad. They just have different opinions on certain topics, and that's the kind of thing that I hate about the parties in America, is that they've kind of turned America against each other. If you're liberal, you hate conservatives. If you're conservative, you hate liberals. Why can't we just fucking get along and just fucking leave each other alone? Like, the fuck? But yeah, and also, this is just a stupid argument. I mean, I grew up in a very liberal area. I'm still growing up in a very liberal area, and obviously if you've been around on this channel long enough, you know that I'm not liberal. If you want to know my own political opinion, I'm libertarian, which is a totally different topic for today's video. But you know what? Let me just quickly mention that I live in an area where people are going to disagree with me. I live in an area where people say that guns are bad and guns should be banned. In fact, in my very state, it's very, very hard to obtain a weapon legally. So, there's a lot of disagreements here. I have lots of different opinions from my own peers, a lot of them at least, and in reality of it all, that's okay. You don't see me going all crazy saying, oh, I live with a bunch of liberals, those fucking liberals, libtards, fuck those libtards. Like, I mean, I get it, they have differentiating opinions than I do, but you don't see me here going out and complaining about it and using it as an excuse to further my agenda.
I was deeply judgmental and homophobic and transphobic. And then I actually did the work of self-discovery and I became a different person.
Well, that's good for you, okay? It's good to become a different person and realize that homophobia and transphobia is not a good thing. Now, despite my own personal opinions, really, I'm not a homophobe. I'm not a transphobe. I honestly support transgender people and I support homosexuals. If that's what makes you happy, then go right ahead and make yourself happy. If becoming a different gender is what makes you happy because internally you are that gender, then go right ahead. Okay, I'm not gonna stop you. I'm not gonna. I may judge you a little, but I'm not gonna stop you from being happy. If that's what makes you happy, go right ahead. But you know what? At the end of the day, you have to get a job and do something with your life and not do this.
I would take my mom's clothes and I would dance to Bollywood songs for the local Indian community.
Oh god, this guy's a T-Series supporter. Ah, get this blasphemy out of here. Get this Bollywood drama crap out of here. Hashtag down with T-Series. Hashtag PewDiePie. Hashtag PewDiePie 73 million subs. get PewDiePie to 73 million before T-Series gets their dab on the haters, bro.
In my small town in Texas. And I was just so free, running around, screaming, performing. I loved people cheering me on. But I remember the first time I experienced shame was in first grade. I performed at my school's talent show, and I did one of my dance routines to my largely white Christian Texan classmates, and everyone laughed at me. And I remember experiencing that sense of like, how could this thing that gives me so much joy be the basis of something that you would ridicule with me for?
Because things that people find enjoyment in, others may find ridicule in. You see, this whole YouTube stunt that I do, I find lots of enjoyment in doing it, and that's perfectly fine. But there are lots of people out there who might look at me and criticize me and say, oh, well, this is just some stupid teenager who's making these cringeworthy jokes that are, and trying to be edgy. Well, that's okay. It's okay to be criticized. In fact, it's good to be criticized because you can take that criticism that you're given and try to better yourself from it. Now, the key to being a strong person is to accept criticism and ignore the hate. I mean, of course, there's always going to be that one asshole out there who's going to be like, you can't do this, you can't do, fuck you. But you know what? You gotta move past that and become the bigger person, the better person, and just ignore the hate. And you might be thinking, oh, well, you're kind of a hypocrite now because you're hating on this person when you're saying that he should just ignore it. So are you saying you should ignore your video? Well, to an extent, maybe it should ignore my video, but this video isn't really to bully this person, but rather to criticize this person's opinions and thoughts on the world in general. And that's my whole point of this channel, is to criticize people and their opinions using satire. Hashtag Leafy Clone.
Here in this space, we encourage people to be creative, and we're not gonna say that this is what masculinity or femininity looks like. We're gonna ask people, what does that look like to you? Because I think at every single level, this world is trying to police LGBTQ people from our joy. That when we actually celebrate ourselves, when we actually love ourselves, we get punished for it.
You're not getting punished for it. I mean, there are those few religious people out there who will ridicule you for being different and ridicule you for wanting to change a gender or not be this gender and whatnot. But you know what? That's okay. When it comes to religion, that's a totally different story. And religious people have their own beliefs and ideologies. And in reality, does it really matter what one person says about you? Does it really matter what a group of people says about you? I mean, I'm sure there's a group of people out there who hate me. You don't see me crying about it on the internet.
I had my parents saying, I love you, but why are you so feminine? I love you, but... And that love was always contingent on me being straight and me being cis. And I will spend the rest of my life grieving that. And so when I meet young queer and trans youth, I often look at them and I just want to say, I understand what you're going through. And I...
Okay, well, this is kind of an interesting point. I'm probably going to end it here because there really isn't much after this. But really, to end the video, I just want to say that, yeah, if you are a transgender person, if you are homosexual, I may not understand what you're going through internally because I'm not transgender, I'm not homosexual. But what I do understand is life will give you shit, okay? And that's just something you have to deal with. And ultimately, as bad or as sad or as upsetting as it may be, you just have to deal with it. Suck it up. It may seem kind of mean of me to say that, but ultimately speaking, there really is no other way to do it. If you're transgender and you're getting bullied constantly, or if you're like this person who's getting bullied constantly, sometimes you just have to suck it up and deal with the situation that you've been put in. And I do understand that some people have shitty parents who will be like, well, fuck you, I'm a Christian, I'm an Irish Catholic, I believe in God and Jesus, and what the Lord says is that you shall not lay with the person of the same sex, so no bueno. But you know what? If that's the way your parents want to think, well, screw them. Because ultimately speaking, you are what you define yourself as, and if you really want to be worth for something, if you want to be fulfilling, you have to do something fulfilling. You have to get a job, work hard, raise a family, whether that means you have to adopt children or otherwise. In any case, just be happy. Do what makes you happy, but ultimately, you have to contribute to society as every other human being on this planet has to as well. So, moral of the story, don't be like this guy. Don't be weird. Don't fucking put on a show for a bunch of Randys because, oh, I'm special. You're not special. You're just weird. Knock it off. Get a life. I'm done with the video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Comment down below what your favorite part of the video was. Make sure to subscribe. Click the bell notification if you haven't already. Anyways, hope you guys did enjoy. Goodbye. And farewell.